This is probably one of the dumbest decisions I've ever made in my life. I'll be watching Morbius. I was not going to pay for this at any time, so I waited till my library had a copy. And today was that day, and I finally got it. I'm really terrified, not really. I don't want to watch this at all, but I'm only doing this for YouTube. That's it. That's my only desire to watch this movie. I've heard a lot of stuff about this movie. I remember the memes and everything, especially how Sony decided to re-release it, and they only got $85,000 from that weekend. I've never heard a movie plummet so bad twice. It's shocking to me. But anyways, I'm going to watch Morbius. Let's see what happens. Alright, so the part of that video was filmed yesterday. I didn't have time to do a little response to it, and so we're back now. It's pretty much what I expected. Morbius was pretty much in the same level as Fan 4 Stick. It was that bad. I got bored halfway into it, so I just started playing my synthesizer because I got really tired and I was probably about to fall asleep halfway into it. It was really boring, and there was just a lot of stuff I didn't like about it, and some weird things too with the movie. This movie has some of the worst fight scenes I have seen in a very long time. This movie felt like it was released in the mid-2000s, or before X-Men and Spider-Man, around that time period when people were trying to make superhero movies, because at the time it was just X-Men and Spider-Man. There was no MCU and everything, and so this movie pretty much felt like that, a movie in the mid-2000s around that time period. And this movie has probably the worst post-credit scenes that I've ever seen. Now, if somehow you don't want to get spoiled for Morbius, be warned. I'm going to talk about spoilers here. So the post-credit scene is Vulture from the MCU. He somehow gets warped into the Venom world, where Morbius is also in, and he's in a jail cell, and he's acting like nothing's wrong, and so he acts like, I hope there's food in this joint. It just makes no sense of why he's there or what is happening. And then basically Morbius gets a text from Vulture somehow. Somehow Vulture knows who Morbius is when he's been in there for I guess an hour or so. And Morbius meets him at this barn, and Vulture's got his stuff on. I'm like, how did he get Stark tech in this universe? Because it seems like Tony Stark doesn't exist in this world. I don't know how he got that or how he was able to build it himself. And so, yeah, and then Michael Keaton's like, I've heard about you, Morbius. I think the reason I'm here is because of Spider-Man. It's time we do some good. And then Morbius has never met this person. And Morbius, or Spider-Man, wasn't even mentioned at all throughout the movie of Morbius. And so, for some reason, Morbius just wants to all of a sudden fight Spider-Man. So he goes, intriguing. It didn't make any sense to me. This movie just does not make any sense to me. And just other things. Also, the girlfriend dies at the end, and then at the very last, one of the very last shots in the movie, she just comes back to life because because Morbius drank her blood, and I guess she's now a vampire for a sequel that's probably not going to happen. I mean, who knows? Sony's made some pretty dumb decisions at this point. And also another thing, this movie did what the Amazing Spider-Man 2 did. Sony did not learn from their mistake. This whole movie was essentially to try and set up a cinematic universe. And Sony didn't realize that. That's exactly what happened to the Amazing Spider-Man 2, because Sony tried to do that as well with the Amazing Spider-Man 2, was trying to make a cinematic universe when you just got to make a good movie. And it's bad. Sony, whoever greenlit Morbius needs to be fired. I wouldn't be surprised if it's the same guy that also has greenlit El Muerto with Bad Bunny. I probably mispronounced that, the El Muerto. I don't know how you say it, but just it's funny because they have a whole entire rogues gallery of villains that they could easily make a movie out of, and they choose a guy who's shown up for 2 issues in 2006 and has never been seen again. I don't know. I mean, we'll have to wait and see on that movie. I have extreme doubts for that movie. I mean, it could be good. I don't know. But yeah, with Morbius, I'm very hesitant on that. And the Kraven the Hunter movie, I mean, I'll watch it. I just, from what I've heard about Kraven the Hunter, it's just, he's pretty much just an animal lover. And literally his whole costume, he has a lion vest. So he's probably not going to have his lion vest in the movie. Hey, Carson. So Chris is out of town, and I was wondering if you wanted to make a How Far Can You Punt That? Because I have just the thing to punt.